Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Behind the Microphone here on the Layfield Report. I'm Gerry Strauss, and this time out, we've got someone that you know from inside and outside the ring. You know her from not only WWE programming, but from Total Divas. Of course, it is none other than Ariane here on Behind the Mic. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. Very, very good. You've got to be doing great because the second batch of episodes, the second half of season number 1 of the runaway hit Total Divas is coming back at you this Sunday night. Check your local listings. And you were certainly one of the standouts, most memorable personalities on that show so far. So I want to ask you, in the midst of all this craziness that's bound to get even crazier now, how has your life changed? How has things changed for you?
I mean, what I've noticed is that, people no longer are calling me, Cameron. People are calling me by my actual name, and they're like, Ariane, and when I'm out shopping, it's sometimes, for the most part, I always like to be dolled up when I go out, but there's times I'm like, I'm just going to the grocery store, so, I'm just going to throw on some sweats and stuff, and it's I have to be very aware of that now because, whenever I go out, it's oh my gosh, you're the girl from Total Divas, or you're the girl from WWE. So, I mean, I love it because I just feel the fans are getting to know me more on a one-on-one basis, and it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's take it back a little bit because you've actually been in the public eye for some time. Before we got to know you on Total Divas, before we even got to know you as a Funkadactyl, we got to know you on Tough Enough a few years ago when that show had aired on USA Network. Just give us a quick little overview. How did you get to be on Tough Enough? What was the path that took you to your beginnings in WWE when you were a part of that show?
Well, I originally did one of their diva searches, and then from there I had an opportunity to be on Tough Enough. And sadly, I was the first eliminated for one of my things that I said, which I still get harassed for now. But I feel no matter what place you come from, or if you watch WWE growing up or something you want to do your whole life, I feel where respect is earned is when you love something and you have a passion for it. And, I love what I do. I love that I'm a part of the WWE. And, slowly I'm starting to show the fans that, this is something that I was born to do. And I think, I got a lot of rap from that. But it's a positive and negative thing at the same time. But, I mean, you've kind of seen me be able to grow. I mean, it was only in developmental for a little bit, and that was even hard, coming on the road so early. But I love the WWE. I mean, I'm so happy I'm here, and I'm glad that every day I'm able to, show, this is why I'm here. I thought to come a far way, and I've been able to prove a lot of people wrong.
And that's something I wanted to ask you about, because going back to Tough Enough, I mean, you were eliminated first. And I think the way that you came off on the show, or the way they portrayed you on the show for that episode that people still talk about and remember, is that maybe you were supposedly less serious or less dedicated than some of the other people, and that's why that was the rationale that was shown on the show for your elimination. But if you look at you versus the rest of that cast, I mean, you were the one who was signed pretty quickly to a job with WWE afterwards. What is it that the show got wrong and that the WWE got right in saying, yeah, there's value to having her be a part of this product?
I think no matter what, it's you see something in someone and you see the drive. I'm sorry, let me step through. Can you guys hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. The thing I think that they saw is that someone who has drive, and I'm dedicated, and when I really put my mind to something, I really want something that I provide as long as I have in the business. This business isn't an easy business, and it's very hard to get in it, and it's very hard to fit. You have to have a lot of passion. You have to have talent. You have to be able to bring something to the table, and I feel like, that's something that they saw in me. Like I spoke about it before. I mean, I was only in developmental for a little bit, and, you know, I had obstacles thrown at me, like, you know, when they told me that I was going to be dancing, I was like, I don't know how to do that, but you see me out on stage, you would never think that, okay, she doesn't come from, like, a dance background. I feel like there's paths that are set up on a daily basis, and if you can conquer them and you can prove yourself, then I feel like you have a great shot of being very successful in this business. And like you said before, is that out of everyone from, you know, Andy who won and all, you know, the other girls who, you know, to
Hello?
you know, yeah, can you hear me?
Sorry, you're breaking up really badly. I can hear you a little. Hello? Try again.
Can you still hear me? No?
Yeah, better now.
Okay.
Better. Yeah. Yeah, no, we got most of that. I think.
Just as I was saying is that, you know, out of, like how you spoke about, out of everyone that was on Tough Enough, I'm the last one standing. And I know that threw a curveball to a lot of people because they're like, okay, how is she still there when, you know, the people who did come from backgrounds in, you know, being in the indies or having like a wrestling background, how is she still there? And I mean, it just goes to show, like, if you really, really want something and you put your mind to it, you'll get it. And that's why I'm very driven, I'm very dedicated, and I really do, you know, have a passion for this business. And I feel like that's why I'm still here, because every day I'm giving it 110%. And I feel like I pushed myself even harder just because I did have the odds against me, you know, because I do want to show people I deserve to be here. And I feel like I do when every day, you know, I'm busting my butt to prove, like, you know, I deserve to be in the WWE. And one day you will see me have the beach titles.
So that brought you to the main WWE roster, became one of the Funkadactyls. Then you became part of this reality series, and now things are at a totally different level. I want to ask you about the first episodes that we've all seen, that you've all lived through. You've certainly been portrayed, or you've come off as one of the, I guess, wilder of the divas, maybe the most outspoken and just, you know, saying, you know, whatever is on your mind and just doing whatever you feel like you want to do. Is that sort of realistic for you as far as, like, your role within that group of divas? Is that sort of what you're known for, or what your personality is really like in that atmosphere?
I do have a very outspoken personality, and I think that's kind of the reason why, one of the reasons why I've made it as far as I have, because I feel like sometimes, you know, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. So if you don't speak about something that you want, then you may never get it, you know what I mean? And I do have one of the stronger personalities out of the divas, especially out of Trinity and I, because Trinity is the more chill, and I'm the more feisty one. But I feel like there's a time and place for everything, and there's a time to be outspoken, and there's a time to keep quiet. I think I have one of that. But, I mean, there's always going to be someone on the show that brings a little bit of drama, because if there wasn't, then it'd be a little dull, right?
Absolutely right. The show certainly, and your role in it, far from dull. Would you consider yourself totally fearless now as far as cameras being on you and following you around, now that you've gone through that for a while? Do you even notice them anymore?
No, at first it was a bit much, just because it's like, you know, you have someone in your personal space, and on your days off, there's, like, you know, cameras. There are moments where you're just like, oh, right now I just, you know, I don't want to be filmed. And one perfect example of that is when you guys saw me in my hotel room and I was suffering. I was at the time, I'm like, I just really don't want to be filmed right now, because, like, I'm in so much pain. But besides that, I mean, I don't mind it. I've gotten so used to it. It's like, you know, that's why sometimes I forget, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that, because now the whole world's going to see that. But I love it just because it gives people to get to know me on a more personal level. You know, Tracy and I, we do come as a package, and sometimes people get us confused, and, you know, they're always like, oh, which is which, and we haven't really been able to have a storyline yet that kind of shows our different personalities and the differences in what we both kind of bring to the table. So it's kind of nice that, you know, with Total Divas, be able to see us on a more personal level and kind of get to know us, you know, as Ariane and Trinity, more so than just being like, you know, the Funkadactyl.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great opportunity to sort of see you guys in that individual light, all of you really, and I think it's only going to enhance the way people anticipate your return this Sunday. Looking back at what you've seen on the air so far, after it's all actually gone down in real life, and then, you know, watching things back, is there anything, including you, or maybe without you even being on the screen, that you were surprised by? Anything that was captured that maybe even made you look at the life of you and your fellow divas in a different light?
I don't want to say look at a different light, but I know when I got really sick and I was just like, oh, you know, I'm my tonsils and from having the medication, and I got a use of it. I kind of, and it was like, that's the times you forget, like the cameras are there, and that's just us having girl talk, and that's something that would just be left in the locker room, and that's something I totally just, like, didn't even just talking, you know, because you forget the cameras are there, and then when it aired, I was like, oh my gosh, that was definitely TMI. But at the same time, I mean, it was like a bittersweet situation. It was like, oh my gosh, that's embarrassing. But at the same time, it's like we're normal. We're not superhuman. We're human beings, and it's like we all go through stuff. We all get sick, and it's just, I feel like it gives the fans something to relate to, you know?
That's what it is.
So,
I think that I agree with you, and I think part of the appeal of the show is that it's not just the beautiful side of the divas, it's the human side, and it's, you know, you're not always going to be camera ready 100% of the time, 24/7. So I think that drew a lot of both men and women to, like, be a lot more interested in following your lives.
Exactly. And that's the great thing that you get to see about us, is that, you know, we cry, we laugh, we make up, break up. I mean, we're human, and I feel like the fans that we can definitely relate to that. And I feel like there's stories in there, like, you know, you see the Bellas with their dad and the struggle they went through that. Like, you know, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people can relate to not having their fathers in their life, and in relationships, and, you know, we're going through stuff, and how other people can relate to that, like, you know, being in a relationship or having to pick and choose, like, do I pick my career or do I pick a relationship? And I definitely feel that's one of the great things that Total Divas brings to the table, is that you see every side of us that you would never see if the cameras weren't around, you know? It's amazing to see us in the ring and what we bring to the table, and, I mean, but it's great to see empowering women, making it in a world that's been predominantly a male-generated world, you know what I mean? So it's an awesome, amazing feeling, and I'm glad that I'm a part of it.
Okay, well, I know you're busy, but before I let you go, just one more question for you. You know, I think people have grown to realize that you are not only a great talent, but also a very, very bright individual, more so than people probably initially gave you credit for. And now you're someone who could probably write your own ticket, do whatever you want to do from this point on. Being that you're getting so much success here, where do you want this ride to take you? Where do you want to be in 5 years from now?
I feel like I still have so much to accomplish with the WWE. As you know, like, being a WWE diva, we don't stay here very long. It's about 7 years, and then you move on to the next phase of your life, whether it's having kids or, starting a family or doing a business venture or whatever the case may be. And I just feel like, I want to get in the ring, and I want to be able to, still be able to go over there. And like I said before, I want to have the title one day and have an amazing storyline. So that's my plan first, to to make that happen, and then I'll take it from there. But I feel like I have so much that I want to accomplish and get busy, and I feel like in the next 5 years, I'd probably still be here, and there's just a lot I want to do, you know. And hopefully before I leave here, so I would like to have a nice storyline between Trinity and I. I think that actually be really good.
Sounds good to us, and I think we're going to be seeing you on Total Divas for years to come as well, because this thing is just going to get bigger and better. It comes back this Sunday night on E! Check your local listings. Ariane, thank you so much for being a part of Behind the Mic today.
Thank you so much for having me. And sorry for all the chaos and all the loudness and disconnection.
No, it's cool. It's been great, and it's good to talk to you, and good luck with Sunday.
Thank you so much.